When I give Force Awakens a pass for being a, quote, play it safe, soft reboot, or, quote, just setting the stage, or reintroducing a new generation to what Star Wars is who may have never seen it. But now the reality that we all have to deal with is there's going to be a new Star Wars film every year or so from now until we're all dead.
Yes!
The good old days of waiting 3 to 5 years between movie sequels are over. Long gone are the days of a small group of craftsmen making a film with care. It's now become an assembly line of 500,000 people and 10,000 different departments cranking this shit out. I can't even tell you how many people it takes to make those Avengers movies. After George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, we discovered a terrible truth. That like Marvel, Star Wars will become the next big, endless, and pointless cinematic universe. Marvel has already produced more than 12 films and has 137 more in the works, with 3 to 4 coming out each year. And after stumbling a little out of the gate, DC is attempting to do the same damn thing. Because of Marvel's success, everybody's trying to get in on this game. Unlike Yoda, I'm able to sense the dark side. The soulless, evil force that is the Hollywood machine and their manipulative string pulling. The Hollywood machine is in full effect and it's got its filthy hands on my Star Wars. Hollywood made remakes because of the title and brand recognition. But when that started to fail, they shifted gears to a concept called soft rebooting. Meaning that it's a remake, yes, but it's also kind of a sequel, so it's not a remake. Only some of us that have an IQ above 80 can recognize this. I never thought I'd say these words, but the olden days of an insane elderly kook running the show now seems quaint. Now these guys are in charge. And it's a fucking factory, folks. So now I'm gonna analyze the shit out of all of this. All cylinders are firing. But anyway, these films aren't on the same level as Star Wars. In hindsight, one of the good things about the prequels is not the lightsaber fights, but the fact that they weren't soft reboots.
They wanted to do a retro movie. I don't like that. Every movie I worked very hard to make them different.
They were terrible, yes, but they were totally different movies. They had a lot of callbacks and Star Wars hallmarks, but they were really different films. In hindsight, I can say that that's at least a positive. I have to go wash my mouth out with soap. Now, is it fair to call one of the most financially successful movies of all time a soft reboot scam that tricked billions of people? Yes, 'cause it was. In addition to all the missed opportunities to tell an actual 7th film in the series,
There is no episode 7.
there's a little too much fan service for my tastes. Sometimes you gotta ask, do we really even need the Millennium Falcon in the movie? I guess so. But couldn't Rey and Finn have had a new ship? Like maybe this one? Or what if we just didn't have it in the movie? Oh god, okay. Wait. How about some new ship that they got? One that could potentially even be better than the...
Nothing's changed, really. I mean, everything's changed, but nothing's changed. That's the way you want it to be, really.
So George offered up a bunch of terrible, strange, salad-filled ideas to Disney, and they basically told him to get fucked. He later admitted that they just wanted to do fan service.
They looked at the stories and they said, we want to make something for the fans.
When making the first film that is supposed to set up a cinematic universe, the last thing you want to do is to make a terrible, off-putting movie your audience hates. Whoops. But is The Force Awakens too similar to A New Hope? Is it meant to be?
Only do something that's proven. Let's not do any... You gotta remember, Star Wars came from nowhere. There was nothing like it. Now, if you do anything that's not a sequel, or it doesn't look like one, they won't do it. They say, we want something that we know...
So that's the downside of Star Wars.
That's the downside of Star Wars, and it really shows an enormous lack of imagination and fear of creativity on the part of an industry.
I'm sure his return will be celebrated as much as the return of any character.
The movie business is exactly like professional gambling. Except you hire the gambler, usually some crazy kid with long hair who's like, I don't get this guy at all. You give him $100 million and you say, go to the tables and come back with $500 million. That is a risk. Now, the studios don't want to think of it that way. They say, well, maybe if we told him that he couldn't bet on red, maybe if we told him, because we did market research and we realized that red wasn't, so they tried to minimize their risk. But once you, and of course, you're hiring the kid to take risks, to be creative, to do things that have never been done before, never been tested. You have no idea whether they're going to work or not. That's completely the antithesis of what a big modern corporation is.